Whoever has the first question, please give a wave. All right, John.
Mike, going through this horse challenge, how did it help in terms of just, I don't know, staving off the stir craziness with all of the social isolation and not being able to play regular games at the moment?
It helped a lot. You know, I've been, you know, all of us guys are looking for something to compete against, and it's only so many video games and things that we can play before we, you know, start to really go crazy. So to actually have competition, you know, with the sport that we love to play and a game that, you know, I know we all grew up playing horses, something very easy to play, but you can get real creative and just really have a good time doing it. And once I knew it was for charity too, like it was an easy yes for me.
What was your favorite horse shot? What ones kind of stood out to you during the course competition?
From other people's, it's probably I liked Chris Paul's shot, the one where he held his leg and had his back to the basket and had to turn around and shoot a one-arm shot. I thought that was pretty creative. But one of my favorite shots is the one I spin the ball on my finger and punch it off the glass into the rim. I think that's one that I've learned how to do over the years, and couldn't make it at all the first couple rounds, but finally got it to fall the last one.
Great. Next question. Anyone want to raise the hand? Okay, Ben.
Mike, have you kind of noticed that you've been a good horse player before? You were kind of uniquely creative in the tournament.
Yeah, that was one reason I wanted to be involved. I play horse every day. After every workout I play. During the summer when, you know, there's no social distancing and I have my whole crew of people in the gym with me, we will run 2 or 3 games right after we get done working out, and we get really creative. I saved a lot of that. I didn't show too much, but it's a fun game to just let loose.
Okay, we got Aaron.
Mike, you obviously have your own gym. It's not something that a lot of guys have, and I'm wondering, one, maybe the benefits of that in the horse competition, but then also, how do you think that will maybe help or hurt guys as you know, when we get back to basketball, whenever that is?
Well, yeah, one, it was a real advantage. I didn't know going in what everybody had or didn't have, but I just knew that I had a hoop and I love the game, so I wanted to be a part of it. But I definitely helped out being indoors. But I think for a lot of guys right now, I can only imagine how tough it is to honestly not have touched the ball or shot a ball at all over the last month or so, because, you know, we're so used to being in a regimen and routine, and that getting broken up can really affect guys in different ways. So it'll be interesting when and if we do get back to playing, and how soon that may be, you know, how it will affect guys individually. But I'm lucky and thankful enough to have a gym to my, you know, disposal right now, and just been in there and trying to continue to stay in shape and in rhythm as much as possible.
All right, next question. All right, Jake. Oops.
How much preparation did you put into this specifically? Like, how much thought did you put into shot?
Honestly, I didn't think too much. I already had, like, you know, 5 or 6 go-to shots, and I knew that, you know, probably nobody's going to be able to use their offhand like I would. So I would just use that to my advantage at any point I felt like I was getting pressured or pushed. I would just go right to my right hand and shoot a 3 or shoot whatever, just to feel comfortable again. So I felt good going into it, and I was excited just to be a part of it.
All right, Andy.
Hey, just curious kind of what you've been able to do and how you've been able to stay connected with your teammates over the last 3-4 weeks, as this has unfolded.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, what we're doing here through Zoom and meetings, FaceTime. I mean, we actually just had a meeting earlier today where we got to talk to each other and just hang out, and Coach gets to give us his spiel in different things he wants us to be doing or not doing, whatever it may be. So it's been cool to just be able to see those guys on a weekly basis, and we've had like fun little dribbling challenges that one of the coaches started and per week, and we'll crown a winner and stuff like that. So just trying to keep guys engaged as much as possible, and in hopes that we get back here playing soon.
What is Quinn telling you right now?
Really that we're feeling more and more confident that something could happen where we're able to play again, but there's still so many things logistically to work out, and so many things with COVID-19 itself that are unknown. So we're hopeful. I think all of us are optimistic, and hopefully we'll get back to doing it.
Tony, trying to unmute you.
Mike, has it been hard for you to stay engaged physically and mentally, or has it not been as hard for you to do that?
Yeah. For me, I've been pretty much engaged in each workout and just trying to stay as much in the regular season as possible. But it is a little different because it does feel like it's the off season thing there. It's the point where we're supposed to rest or whatever. So it kind of get that kind of vibe and feel, but at the same time, that's that same feel you don't want to be feeling right now. You kind of just want to continue to put your foot on the gas and try to continue working. And that's just been a challenge, I know, for every guy. And I'm just trying to stay on top of it.
Okay. Wes?
Mike, a lot of talk. If they do get back to playing basketball, they do it without fans. What's your thought on that? Would you be able to play that way?
Of course, yeah, I'll be able to play that way. I think we all just want to play at the end of the day, but not saying that that's the ideal situation. Obviously, we'd love to have our arenas packed full of fans, and especially in a great home court situation like we have in Salt Lake. I mean, it's no better than that. So that kind of takes away the feel of that aspect of the game. But just I think getting a month away from the game and not knowing if you're going to have it again gives you a perspective on how much you love it and how much you just want to be out there and competing regardless of the situation.
Go Ryan and then Sarah.
Mike, so you mentioned that you were a little more optimistic things will start up. Where's that optimism coming from?
Well, I think the more and more, every meeting we have, and we've had calls with MBTA and NBA and all that, and it seems like, with things that are coming out, like with the 25-day plan of when we could return or what will happen once we get the green light to return, it makes it feel as if a plan is slowly coming in place, and that we are headed in the right direction, and hopefully the virus itself will start to flatten a little bit more and more each day, and give us some a better indication on when possibly we'd have a green light to go back to being in the gym together, or what that stage would be. But just feeling really good just even from rumors or just talks we're having, it seems mostly positive, and that it could happen.
Hi, Mike. I know that you said through rumors or just information that's coming out, and some of that has been reported are ideas about maybe playing at a neutral location or playing sort of in an isolated bubble, depending on when play is going to be able to return. So what are your feelings kind of on those situations? And I mean, this is going to impact everything for probably at least more than a year as far as the schedule goes. So what are your feelings on those different situations, or maybe having to play deeper into the summer?
Yeah. Well, at this point, I think safety's first for everybody, and we want to continue to adhere to all the regulations made by our state and the country, and so like whatever I think the safest route is, and makes sense for us to be able to play and still entertain people and kind of do that and get back out there. I think we're all ready and willing to do it. If that means we're going to be in one location for an extended period of time or isolated, just amongst our teams or certain few teams, whatever it may be, I think we're willing and ready to do that. And like I said, I think safety is just number one right now. We want to make sure that everybody's doing the right things, including us. And I know the NBA won't let us out there until they feel comfortable.
Okay, we're gonna go with Eric Weldon. If I can get you off mute for some reason, sticking. There you go.
Hey, Mike. You mentioned on ESPN last night that you were not concerned about the relationship between Donovan and Rudy. So, wondering if you could just elaborate on that. Kind of, I guess, what makes you so confident that they'll be able to resolve those issues?
Well, I think one, nobody really has a perfect relationship, teammates aside or whatever situation you're in. Some of the best players in the world in our game ever have disagreed on things or had arguments or even fought in practices, whatever it may be, and went on to win championships and be successful and be brothers for life. So between Donovan and Rudy, it's, if they feel certain ways about each other, which I honestly don't think that's the case, at all, but they're grown men and they handle it, and they go out there and they compete and they try to win night in and night out. So you would never notice on our end. So I feel comfortable knowing that we have two pros who go out there and work every day, care about the team, and are just going to do what they got to do to win.
All right. I know. Sorry. David Locke had a question. Let me get him unmuted real quick.
Mike, hope you're doing well. When you think back of that night about a month ago in Oklahoma City when everyone walked off the floor and you're in the locker room, like, what do you think back about that and maybe what you know now compared to what we all knew was going on then? Like, what's your retrospective on that?
Well, looking back now, it just shocks me at how much we didn't know about COVID or what was going on. I think we knew from the news, but like being on the front line, it was a little bit more, surreal and more scary and more right in front of you. Like, I think that's why we take it even more serious than most people, is because once it kind of is right in front of you, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is real. This is, a definite threat to all of us. And to see it just completely shut down a league and just literally within a matter of minutes, once they got the news, it was, that was evidence on how crazy and this thing is really going to get. So at the time, you didn't think about it like that. At the time, you were, we were just like, oh man, let me take this test. Hopefully everything's good. You were nervous and a little bit afraid because you didn't know what, to expect from it coming out. But just looking back at it, and it was just something that you would see in a movie, really, like how NBA gets shut down just like that and overnight, and we're kind of on the front edge of it.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Hopefully.
Okay, Ben Anderson, go ahead.
Hey, Mike. First, congratulations on the pregnancy.
Thank you.
And how is that? What's that been like through this? I mean, it's a weird situation already. Being pregnant's already a big deal in life. How has that changed with all the COVID-19 stuff?
Well, that was kind of my first priority and like my first worry at the time. Even when this was first coming out, it was there wasn't a lot of research or it wasn't a lot of cases, I guess, documented of what happens with pregnant women or children when they're born or whatever. So it was a little bit, it's really scary for us. So just to be able to, know that we're all together and my wife's been feeling great, and you know, no issues, and you know, just trying to make sure that she's safe and my family's safe right now, and going forward, that, you know, hopefully there's no complications with anybody, but that it doesn't, you know, affect the pregnant women any more or less than anybody else.
All right. We're going to go ahead with Matt now.
Yeah, one last horse question. Who's the best horse player on the Jazz, and who's the best ever that you played against in horse, since you're an avid player?
Yeah. I would say the best player. I said it earlier, I think on one of the shows, I said Bojan Bogdanovic would be my pick to try to dethrone me, because he's got a lot of tricks. He's a little tricky dude, and obviously he can shoot way better than me. So it'll you know, that'd be a tough matchup. But outside of him, Vince Carter was a guy that I played a few times with, and we used to work out after every practice, and some of the shots he can do, like he could sit down, you know, at the opposite free throw line and throw it with one arm all the way to the other end of the basket and make it. And he's just super talented like that. So he'd be a guy that, you know, I have my hands full.
Great. All right. We're going to go David James.
So, Mike, assuming you get the green light, how long do you need before you feel like you'd be playing at a high level, a normal NBA level?
Man, it's tough to say for, you know, I think every team, every player will be different. For me, there's a reason why I'm working like I'm working now, because I don't want to have to take, you know, a month to get ready. Once we do get the green light, I'd rather kind of be hitting the ground running and keep moving. But I think every situation is different. Every guy is different. You know, you worry about situations. You don't want guys to get injured. You don't want, you know, anything to come of this, because we have to start up so quickly and play games and get right into playing at, you know, a playoff level, which is, you know, I don't think anybody's really had to do that in the past, where you've went from doing nothing to a training camp straight to competing for a championship, you know, within weeks. So it's going to be interesting for sure. I think we're going to be ready as a whole. I think we've taken the right steps as a team, making sure guys are doing things that will get them ready to where we're, you know, when we do get a green light, we're ready to go and able to work at a little bit faster pace.
All right. We have time for one, maybe two more questions. Sarah, do you want to go ahead? Let me unmute you.
Mike, two questions. One, is it just the hope that, I mean, you sound hopeful that there is going to be playoffs. Is that kind of the general consensus among players, that you're still going to be able to at least complete and get a championship?
Yeah, that's the hope. You know, I think all of us seek that. I think the league wants that. I think our fans, I think the communities, everybody really wants that to be able to happen. And but we really do, you know, I think all of us are just staying as optimistic as possible. Nobody's throwing in the towel or, you know, going on vacation thinking this is it and that we will play again next season. Really, we're just still locked in thinking that this season will continue.
And then the second thing is, how else are you kind of spending your time? What are you watching? Are you reading something? What have you been doing?
Honestly, outside of working out, I chase the kids around, and it's exhausting. So I'm really am thankful for the nights we get in the hotels and road trips, and you know, those kind of things are needed at some point. But they are a handful, and my wife being pregnant, she can't do as much, so I'm kind of on call and doing a lot with them. And outside of that, I've been playing Call of Duty with Royce and Donovan, and you know, those guys that like to play video games, or playing Monopoly with Ed Davis and trying to get Joe Ingles involved, and you know, just having, you know, just normal things. Netflix is probably being run through every TV in our house 24/7. So we just got, you know, normal things going on.
Thanks a lot.
Great. All right. Well, I think this concludes it. Thanks so much, Mike, for joining, and thank you guys for joining as well. Hopefully everyone stays safe. We'll go ahead and send this out to everyone. So if you have any questions, let us know. But I think that's it. Good to see everyone.
All right, guys.
All right,
Stay
take care.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. See you guys soon, I hope.